of that. Eight, 10 on the button is just my kind of hand. Unless there's a raise, we'll definitely be limping here. We've got an under the gun limp, middle position limp, and we do know if VV85 has a hand, he'll be minimum raising. But I think no matter what he raises with here, if he does raise, then I'll be calling. Okay. We've hit the 8, second pair. If it's checked round to us, we will be making a bet. But I can't see it getting past Elvis. Okay, it has. Rebuy on ipoker, pair of 4s, early position. Yep, we'll call. Now, if this guy doesn't bet, we will, and we'll bet a large percent of the pot, make it look like we have got the jack, and hopefully nobody will call with second or worse pair, or even 9, 10. Okay, well that's the value of position. It obviously could have looked like a steal, and any one of these could have re-raised me all in and I would have had to fold. But that's why we like to play position. With so many people in the pot, it's unlikely that I would try and steal against them. I need to double check that. Jack 8 of diamonds under the gun. Was he under the gun? Yes, and obviously called from the big blind with ace queen. Interesting. Yeah, it's true. He's raised to 300, and the flop is all into 16. He had 1600 chips, and he's chosen to raise 300 of it under the gun with Jack 8 of diamonds. And for those conspiracy theorists, it does make you wonder. Okay. And when somebody has limped in from under the gun, thick dick, called by Israel and called by Ampuhua Hoka. So it's my kind of hand on the button, and if he's limped with a big hand, then it serves him right. Now that's a great flop for us, but we don't want to get too involved because somebody could easily have limped in with Jack King. It is my doubt. Now that to me looks like a bet from somebody with just the jack or a flush draw, so I think we've got to try and raise him off of that, make it look like we have actually flopped the straight, and that worked. Some short stacks behind that might decide to give it a bash. There we go, there's one of them. So on this occasion, I think, right, we've seen here on Ladbrokes that this guy raised earlier with Queen 10 from early. This time he's limped, so I think we need to try and take this down now. So I'm raising to 500, which is twice the pot. But more importantly, we've got position on him, and now obviously back. We bet half the pot on Ladbrokes. If this guy wants to take a stab at it, then fair play to him. He wants to make out he's got the jack. I don't actually believe him. I think if he's got the jack, then he's not going to do that, so we'll just flat call him, make it look like we've got the jack, and see what he does. But again, for some reason I don't believe him. Why would he limp and then call with a jack in his hand? But we'll carry on pretending that we might have the jack. Now I'm pretty sure we've won that hand, but we don't need to take a risk. And he was trying it on. Now the lesson there is that I think if he had the jack, then I don't think he would be re-raising that flop. Okay, we got a bit lucky we hit the turn, but I had every intention of taking it away from him in later streets anyway, because I'm 90% confident he doesn't have the jack in that situation. We'll take a quick look at the lobby. We're just coming up to the break. In fact, we've got 2 seconds to go. The tournament started with 248. We've got 129 left, with 30 being paid, and at the end of the first break we're in first position, so fingers crossed. Okay, back to Ladbrokes. We're on the big blind with a pair of sixes, and we get a raise. The blinds are 75, 150, and we get a raise to 1,150. Folelli, where is that? 1,150. Now that smacks of a bet that does not want to be called, but then I've got a hand that does not want to play. So I'll let it go. I would imagine that's ace queen, ace jack, something like that. And although I'm ahead, I'm not going to risk half my stack with it. Now, under the gun decides to put in a minimum raise, so we'll keep an eye on this. Bet Perla. Perla being the name of the casino in Slovenia. Every chance if we hit here, we're going to get paid off because he's got a massive stack there. I don't know how he got those. We have missed, but if he checks here, we will be taking a stab at it. Okay, his minimum raise, I would think, was a sign of strength there, so we'll let that one go. Especially as this guy's only got 405, and there we go. Minimum raise in this case was aces. So we'll make a note of that, his stack, because his minimum raise was as predicted. Monster hand. Now back on ipoker, I've raised with ace jack, and this guy's coming up betting, so I think we've got to put him all in. If he's got ace king or ace queen, then fair enough. He's asked the question, I've given him an answer. Let's see if he likes the answer. Obviously didn't. Now I don't mind him asking the question there, but he's asked the question with a massive chunk of his stack, which is rather stupid. He could have saved himself 600 chips there. I would have given him an answer on the flop without him needing to ask the question, so I think it's pretty poor play. Whatever he's called with there is fair enough, but he's out of position, and then he's asked the question with 600 chips and leaving himself just 2,700, so I don't like it. We're under the gun with ace jack, I don't like that, so we'll let that go. Ace jack on the button to a limper. Okay, he's got a big stack, but I think in position with ace jack in a game like this we need to raise it up, and we take the pot down. King two of clubs on the small blind. Obviously we'll be making up the stacks. Now we've hit the king, but we've only got a 2 kicker, so I think we'll fold to almost any bet unless it's from Windows 002, in which case we might just keep check calling there. Or we may even make a small raise against Windows 002, because I would think he's trying it on. Now that is a sign of we've got something there that is bigger than king 2, so we'll let that one go.